My on/off partner of 2 years charged with a heinous crime. What now? I need to get this off my chest and confess what I've been going through recently. My partner, who I have been on and off with, got arrested unexpectedly 2 days ago. Prior to that, he had told me that some former friends, one of whom he had slept with, were turning against him by making false accusations. They claimed that he had been involved with a 14-year-old girl while he was living with these friends. Given our past trust issues and his history of cheating, I had to decide whether I could fully trust him if our relationship was going to work. Even his friends and family, who he lived with, supported him wholeheartedly, convinced that he would never do something so terrible. It has been 2 days since I last heard from him, and I've been worrying constantly about his safety and mental well-being. This morning, I reached out to his friend to ask about his situation, and she confirmed that the accusations were true. My world shattered, and I have been in a state of shock ever since. When I met up with his friend to collect my belongings and understand the whole story, she sat me down and prepared me for the worst. What I had suspected deep down was true, but the reality was even worse than I could have imagined. He had been involved with 56 other girls, including one he had cheated on me with 2 years ago. He had been in a complete relationship with one of them, who had no idea about my existence. Among these girls was the 14-year-old he claimed he didn't even know. It turns out that they had slept together when she was living with him at a friend's house, and even after the police warned him to stay away from her, he continued to send pictures and texts and meet up with her at hotels. I can't find words to express what I'm feeling and what's going through my mind. Part of me believes it's all my fault for being foolish enough to fall for him again, knowing deep down that I wasn't the only one. My confidence and trust are shattered beyond repair. My anxiety has become so overwhelming that I can't even bear to look at young girls without feeling nauseous. To make matters worse, we all live in the same small town, and I could unknowingly encounter these girls. I feel humiliated for ignoring all the signs and now having to explain to my friends and family what he has done to me and others. He has ruined the lives of so many, even the family he lived with since there were children involved, and Child Protective Services is now involved. He is facing a minimum of 5 years in prison and has no one on his side anymore. I remember him always saying that if he had to serve more than 6 months, he would take his own life. Part of me is terrified of losing him, while another part secretly hopes for it to happen. I feel disgusted with myself in so many ways, and I don't know how to live with this shame. The shame of loving a pedophile and a cheater, the shame of reminiscing about our happy memories and feeling devastated that they were all just illusions, and the realization that he shared those memories with so many other girls. The shame of knowing that he touched me and had intimate moments with me probably just hours after being with them. I'm struggling to see how I can continue living like this and what steps to take. I desperately need advice and a place to voice what has just happened to me. I'm in complete shock and trying to comprehend it all. Update, my on/off partner of 2 years charged with a heinous crime. What now? Hey everyone, I wanted to give you an update on what has happened since my last post. It's been a lot to process, and I could really use some advice. For those who missed it, here's a quick recap. After discovering that the guy 26F, was seeing was also involved with 6 other girls, including a 14-year-old girl he met at hotels, I had the opportunity to speak with one of the other girls. She was 18 years old and someone I knew he had been involved with in the past. He had repeatedly assured me that their relationship was over, but that turned out to be untrue. She reached out to me late at night via text, asking if I had been dating her boyfriend. We spent the entire night until 6 a.m. talking about his deceitful actions, the lies he told, and sharing our experiences. It all became clear that when he wasn't with me, he was with her, and vice versa. She suggested meeting up to discuss everything or just to offer support and comfort. I agreed, hoping that it would help bring clarity to the situation. The next day, we met at a local pub. We shed some tears, shared a drink, and talked about the man we both believed we loved. So much fell into place, and all the suspicions I had were proven true. For instance, there was a night when he claimed to have gone out for dinner with his mother figure, and I noticed he had shaved, which was unusual for him. He dismissed it, but it turned out that he was actually on a date with the other girl and had met me immediately after. I even used items that belonged to her, and she ended up paying for our takeaways on some nights, thinking they were for him. And incredibly, he played games with me on the Nintendo Switch I had lent him, all while she was right there next to him. This had been going on for a year, during their relationship that he had denied and said wasn't serious. All the while, I had been on and off with him. It never really ended, and the thought of it is incredibly difficult for me to handle. What makes it even harder is that the other girl is lovely, beautiful, and shares similar interests with him, just like I do. The way she talks about their relationship breaks my heart because he wasn't like that with me. However, I acknowledge that she is also facing difficulties. Our relationships with him were different, and it feels strange to be friends with her because we both seem to be jealous of what the other had with him. She wants to continue supporting each other and meeting up, but I'm not sure if I can handle it. Every time she talks about him, it hurts deeply, and I worry that it might be hindering my healing process. She claims to be the only one who understands what I went through, and maybe she's right. It does feel good to have someone who can relate. I'm just unsure about what to do. It sickens me to realize that I even care about whether he loved her more, considering the terrible things he has done, like seeing multiple girls simultaneously and engaging with a minor. I feel disgusted with myself for feeling this way, but I can't seem to stop it. Thank you again for taking the time to read and comment on my previous post. I truly appreciate it, and I continue to refer back to it for support during this difficult time. Your words mean the world to me.